Namaste. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. As always, please practice in accordance with your conditions and your ability level. If you want to try the variations, if you're very familiar with the practice, and I invite you to go ahead and explore them. And please also respect your limitations if you're not familiar with some of the postures. So always, please remember the practice is an offering, and you do the best. You try to transmit the best feelings. If you go to a place of pain and suffering, that's exactly what you're going to transmit to others. Others are feeling what you're feeling through your body and through your senses. So on that note, let's begin. Close your eyes. Sit tall and still and supreme. Before creation, what existed? God was always there in the midst of it all, and will still be there even beyond the endless universe. Attune to that divine consciousness now. Sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's start off with pure fire pranayama. Imagine you being purified from inside out. Remember that the main purifier is ahimsa. Adherence to the ethical rules will help purify all the psychic channels, all these nadis, these receptors, psychic receptors, countless numbers of them throughout the body, which when they're completely open and purified, you can realize even more for yourself. And the more you can realize for yourself, the more you can realize and help others as well. So for the purifier pranayama, you're imagining that all the purifying effects are going all the way up through the body, right through the central psychic channel, right up to the crown. And as you exhale, you let go of all the impurities, let them go out with the exhalation. The count is 4, 12, 8, 4 on the in-breath, 12 on the breath retention, 8 on the exhale. So the technique, you breathe in for 4 counts through both nostrils, and you raise the chest as you inhale. You inflate the lungs. On the breath retention, Jalandhara Bandha Mula Bandha, the root lock is done by contracting all the root muscles in the gut buttocks, pulling them up towards the navel. The throat lock, as when the chest is lifted, you can bring the chin down on it without hunching your back. You want to keep your back very straight, so the spine is the central psychic channel is very straight pathway for the breath and the energy to flow up. The tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, and again a chin to the chest. The attention is at the space between the eyebrows, the seat of divine perception. On the exhale, you breathe out through the left side, and you try to empty out so that by the end of the 8th count, you're completely empty. Okay, so left hand in Jnana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected on the left knee, either the palm down or palm up. This is a mudra of consciousness. The other hand, Vishnu Mudra, second, third fingers fold down towards the palm, but when you turn a palm towards you, it's no longer Vishnu Mudra. It's a mudra that we use to control the passage through the psychic channels, the right one and the left one. Pingala Nadi and Ida Nadi. So you close both sides of the nose with the thumb and the right ring finger. You hold for 12, you apply the throat and a root lock, third eye attention as always. Exhale, you breathe out through the left side. So you let go of the right ring finger and you allow the breath to pass out through the left. Okay, so we'll do it 5 times. Sit up tall and straight. Exhale completely, empty the lungs. Inhale for 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Third eye attention. Thumb and a right ring finger block the nose. 3, 4. Everything stops. All of my fluctuations of body movements and emotions as though they're frozen. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale to the left side slowly and gradually. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale both nostrils. 3, 4. Inflate the lungs, raise the chest, then hold the breath, chin on the chest. 2, 3, 4. Remember the root lock as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. Gradually. 2, 3, 4. Release all the tension found during the breath retention. 7, 8. Again, inhale through both nostrils. 3, 4. Hold the breath, third eye attention. 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the left side. 2, 3, 4. fluid and evenly. 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 3, 4, hold for 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale. 3, 4. Hold the breath. Third eye attention. 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Take a moment to notice any effects, any changes in the state of the mind, the body, and the emotions. Have no expectation as to what you should or should not observe. Be completely unconcerned as to what you observe. Good. So now we're going to do the bija mantras, the seed mantras. There is one associated with each of the main chakras, 7 of them along the central psychic channel again. So we also visualize a color, and with the visualization of the color and with the chanting of the seed mantra, imagine you're also opening it up. It's like a gateway for the energy so that it can pass through. And when the red energy is ready to release, that sits at the bottom of the spine, then the energy has an easy pass all the way up. But remember that in order to trigger that release of the energy, you have to be again in observance of the ethical rules, yama niyama, first and foremost ahimsa. So starting at the base of the spine, at Muladhara chakra, the color is red. So repeat after me, calm response, 7 tones for each of the same, seed mantra for that chakra. Lam 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 lam. Repeat. Lam 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 lam. Repeat. Next, the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. The color is orange. Vam 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 vam. Repeat. Vam 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 vam. Next, go to the navel chakra, Manipura. The color is yellow. Ram 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 ram. Repeat. Ram 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 ram. Next, the heart chakra, the color green. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Repeat. Next, the throat chakra, blue. This is Vishuddha. The heart by way is Anahata, but now we're at the throat, Vishuddha, blue color. Hum 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 hum. Repeat. Hum 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 hum. Next, the third eye, Anya. The color is indigo. Om 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 om. Om 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 om. And then finally at the crown chakra, the color is violet. Sahasrara. And it's just one long Om. Just allow the Om to ride the breath. Imagine trying to make it reach the ends of the universe. Take a deep breath in. Violet at the crown. Again. Take a moment to reflect on what you just felt, if anything. Now we're going to continue the rest of the practice. Imitation of the forms. Imagine that every form is your teacher. 3 times plus of those can imitate the teacher physically, mentally, and spiritually. Tap into all their divine qualities and see God in all the forms. So let's put that into practice. Come to standing now. I'm just going to start off with a few warm-ups to prepare the body for the practice. To swing from one side to the other. Allow the arms to feel like heavy ropes slapping against the body. See it all the way around you. And then start to move faster. Shake up the joints. Allow the head to fly in all the directions. Feel as though the arms are completely dead. And then slow it down. Bring the hands on the hips. Continue with the head. Large circles as possible with the chin touching the chest, the ears to the shoulders, back of the head to the top of the back. And then go in the other direction. Feel as though the head were very heavy, rolling all the way around the neck. Now bring the left foot forward, right arm circles backwards. Make like you're winding up to throw a ball. If you have any trouble with the shoulder, you can take your left hand to the front of the shoulder. It also helps to turn the body with the arm. Now go forward. Feel as though you had a weight of 5 pounds in your hand to make it swing more easily. And then the other foot in front, left arm goes backwards. Begin. And then go forward. And now bring your arms up over the head. Take hold of the opposite elbows. Bend to your left. Pulse with each pulse. Go a little bit deeper as you bounce. Come up, go to the other side. Try not to make folds in the waist and the underside of the body. Come back up, go to your left again. Look past your right elbow, try not to hunch forward. Open up your chest a little bit to the sky. Go to the other side now. And then come back to the center. Little circles over the head. Mostly the head, neck, and shoulders rolling. Then gradually getting bigger with the circles, the chest and the upper back coming into the movement. And then finally, the whole trunk circles. Allow the feet to brush over the feet, the arms to brush over the feet. Make like a big windmill. And then coming all the way back up, and then the other way. Little circles over the head. Lose yourself in the sensations. Imagine all beings experiences through your body. Now start to widen the circle a little bit, adding the chest and the upper back, and feeling the sensation in the waist. And then if you feel comfortable to do so, the whole torso circles. Allow the momentum, the downswing, to pull you through the circle gracefully and smoothly. Come all the way back up. Exhale, release. Shake out the wrists, move the hands very, very rapidly. Again, no control over the hands, they're moving all by themselves. And up and down, feel all the joints and the wrists and the fingers being shaken. Good. Next one, lion's breath. So you want to look like a lion pouncing on something. The eyes go wide, the tongue hangs out of the mouth. And when you come to squat, you can just go as far as you as your knees allow you to. So be mindful of your knees. It's like this. And back up. Now from here, arms out to the sides and swing the right leg back and forth. If you like, you can bring your left hand on a wall or a chair and make the leg feel like a big pendulum that went out of control. Try to get the knee to the shoulder, lean forward when the leg comes up. And then the other leg now. Left leg back and forth. And then release. Bring the feet together, the arms by sides of the body. Inhale, rise up. Lift up off the heels, hands come over the head. Exhale, back down smoothly. Arms moving all by themselves. Inhale, come up, be like the witness, watching the body. Through all the movements, watch all the mental reactions, watch all the emotions without any judgment. Inhale, come up. Lift up off the heels, engage the root muscles and the leg muscles. To move with control, exhale back down, press through with your toes, lower the heels slowly. Inhale, come up, rise up. And this time, hold the position, interlace your fingers, press the palms up. Come up even higher. And exhale, lower down. Slowly lower the heels. Bring the chin down back on the chest. And a gesture of humility, and stay in this mindset of humbleness throughout the practice. Do it because it must be done. Renounce all the fruits of the practice. So let's come to the front of the mat. Surya Namaskara. Hands to the heart. Remember, do the practice simply because it must be done for the benefit of all. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back as you see fit. Engage the buttocks and the upper back muscles. Fold the body down. Bend your knees if you need to. Bring your hands flat on the ground. Right foot back. Lower down the knee. Drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank. Lower down the knees. The seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward between the arms. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the head. Bring the chest forward. And again, bring the seats all the way back behind the heels. Come forward again. Brush the nose to the ground as you come forward. Roll the shoulders back. Arch the back. One more time. Take the seat back. Make like a snake creeping through the grass. Glide forward smoothly. Uncoil. Take the head all the way back. Then Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat. Allow the head to drop down below the arms. The heart to mount. Right foot steps forward to the hand. If that's difficult, you can lower the back knee down, the left knee, and then take the right foot forward, using your hand to assist it forward if you need to. Then the feet come together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right to standing, again, arch back as you see fit. Come back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up, don't worry about the breath, just move the body in a way that allows the breath to remain steady and uniform. Left foot back, the breath will deliver ease and fluidity and more power. Into the high plank, lower the knees down, the seat all the way back. Come forward again. Brush the nose to the ground, Rise up in every sense. Take the seat all the way back. Glide forward again. Use the hands to tug the floor as you're trying to pull the floor towards you. This will help propel yourself forward with more power and ease. Take the seat back one more time. Glide forward into the cobra. Arch the back, form a C shape with your spine. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat, allow the heart to melt, the head to come down. And then the left foot steps forward. Softly, no big, heavy, loud thumps with the foot on the ground, no jerky motions. All smooth, a beautiful offering to observe. Hasta Uttanasana, hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. Fold the body down. Right foot back. Into the plank. Lower down the knees, the seat back. This time you're coming forward. When the hips come between your hands, see if you can lift your hips and knees away from the ground. Charge the legs. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Try to touch the head to the ground if you're flexible. Take the right foot forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Bow to the legs, a gesture of humbleness. Come all the way up. And then back home. Always coming back to source of divine love. Raise your arms up. And go down. Left foot back. Into the plank. Knees down, the seat all the way back. Glide forward. Offering the practice has a very transformative effect. Take the seat all the way up and back. Left foot forward. Feet together. You let go of all expectations and all attachments to results. This is what helps you in your practice in ways you never imagined. Hands back to the heart. Go up and back. Fold forward. Right foot back. This time keep the back knee lifted. Back leg stays charged. Into the plank. This time when you go back, you can either go back this, come back into upward facing dog the same way, or if you want to try, if you're a bit strong, you can keep your knees up. Pull yourself right into upward facing dog from here without touching your hips and knees to the ground. Push your elbows into the side of the body, push it with your toes. And stay here for a moment. Just pause, try to get your shoulders back. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Imagine you had a hinge at the tops of your legs. Try to keep extending your body up so you'll make a big fold across the lower back or the back of the neck. And then push into your toes, lift the seat. Downward facing dog. Here, bounce again, the chest towards the ground. Work the shoulders. Try not to bend the arms. Look like a dog stretching its back. Curve the spine. Good, and more importantly, demonstrate the loyalty of the dog to its master. Now from here, right leg comes all the way up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana, and step the foot between the hands again, without letting the back knee drop to the ground. Push back to the left heel. And then send the left foot in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Pull the body against the legs, head down. Come right to standing. Come back home. Again, raise your arms up. Stretch the whole front of the body. Approach your true nature, which is boundless, its potential. Uttanasana. Left foot back. Keep the back knee lifted. Into the plank. You can either drop knees, chest, forehead to the ground, or bring your seats back. Knees stay up. And then try to come right through without dropping your hips, without touching your legs to the ground. Upward facing dog. Roll back into downward facing dog. Let's try to transition between those two two postures 2 more times. Round your back, coming forward. So you're trying to push your heart between your shoulder blades. And then push the chest all the way forward in front of the arms. Back the other way immediately. Round your back to the tailbone. Downward facing dog. Melt the heart towards the ground. And again, coming forward if you have it in you. Again. And then into upward facing dog. Back the other way. Downward facing dog. Round your back. And then arch the back. Left leg goes up. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee lifted. Stay with the back leg nice and strong. And the feet together, Uttanasana. Pull the body against the legs. Face to the shins if your legs are completely straight. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. Come back home. Pranamasana. Every movement reflecting devotion, divine love for all beings, unconditional love for all beings. This time you come down, bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs. Join your hands behind the back and pull the hands over your head. If you're flexible again, try to get your seat directly in line with your heels and legs straight. Imagine trying to get your chest below the knees, top of the head reaching towards the feet. Now hold your breath, take the right foot back into Kapayasana from here. Raise your arms up over the head, Kali Mudra, and then pull the arms all the way back behind your head. Good. Wiggle the shoulders a little bit, try to get your chest forward and up, away from this seat. Now from here, bring your hands down. From here, swing the left leg up if you can into Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. The alternative is come into plank. If you have your leg up, come forward, shoulders over the fingertips. Now lower your chest down first, pull the elbows into side body, control it. Push into the roots of your toes and the hands as the chest comes down. And then the foot follows, right foot to upward facing dog. Roll back into downward facing dog. All the transitions seamless like you're doing a divine dance devotion. Raise your right leg up and send the foot between your hands. Shoulders coming over the fingertips so the foot lands very softly. Bring the seat all the way down. Kapayasana again. Raise your arms up and push the shoulders back and down. Keep the neck long. Make a crescent shape move with your body. Coming forward, land your belly in the thighs, swing your hands back without touching the ground, fingers to the ground if possible. Hold the breath and step the left foot in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Bow to the legs, gesture deep humility. Come all the way up to standing, reach up over the head, arch back. Come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Reach back behind you. Fold forward. Bend your knees, your belly on your thighs, and then push your legs back to straighten out the legs even more if you can, maybe perfectly straight. Send the head down closer to the feet. Try to imagine your chest is going to go below the knees. Lengthen. Now from here, hold the breath. Keep your weight on your right leg so you can take the left foot back. Kapayasana again. Raise your arms up. Reach the arms up and then pull the shoulders down. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit. The famous Dharma wiggle. Try to get your seat all the way forward. Look like a crescent moon shape. Radiate your inner light. Just like the moon radiates the light of the sun or reflects the light of the sun. Stay true to the form. No bends in the elbows. No kinks anywhere along that curve. And then break the pose. Bring the hands back down, and then swing the right leg all the way up and back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. The alternative again is high plank. And then stay in high plank if you're in high plank, or move forward, shoulders over the fingertips, lower down, elbows close to the sides of the body, lower your chest down, follow through right into upward facing dog. And all the way back, downward facing dog. Sink the heart down, soften in every sense of the word. Left leg comes up. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Drop down to the seat. Once again, Kapayasana, beautiful expression of offering every posture a divine gift to God and therefore to all beings. For God, again, is in all forms equally. Imagine your index fingers going over the back toe. Lift the chest, lean away from the leg. And then break the pose. Lean your belly into your front leg. Swing arms back. And then bring the right foot in to meet the left. Uttanasana. And then come all the way up to standing. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back. Come back home, hands to the heart. Take pause here for a moment. From the heart, inhale love from the heart up to the crown. Now hold your breath. Imagine that love going out to all beings everywhere. just like the sun that shines down equally in everything. Exhale. Return to the heart, as always, remaining established in divine love towards all. And then release. So now try some standing poses. Start off with tree. Standing on your left foot first, anchor down to the foot, spread the toes to forming a nice firm foundation like the toes are the roots of the tree. Bring the right foot up, coming into tree pose with a foot either against the inseam of the leg and at any height you want, you can, so just as long as it's not against the knee, either below or above. If you have a lotus, you can do a lotus, bring your knee up towards the shoulder, and then turn a foot to face upwards, the sole of the foot, with the edge of the foot pressing against just the joints of the leg on the hip. Okay, so here you can either take your hands in heart center and raise your arms up. If you take a bind, you can do that as well. The foot, left hand comes to the foot, right hand comes behind your back, either to the elbow or lean forward, and so you can use your left hand to guide your hand to the take the foot. Hand again in Yana Mudra. If you're in conventional tree, with your foot against the flat against the leg, you can raise both arms up. Grow tall. Whatever happens, remain steady in your demeanor, in your temperament. Remain calm, undisturbed. Good. Now from here, if you can, you take hold of the foot now from the inside of the heel, and then bring your arm and the leg up. Ballet pose. Flexing the foot helps it bounce a little bit. If you might look more like a T, try and keep your fingers and toes on the same line. More flexible, you might look more like a letter Y. Bring the foot closer to the shoulder. And then lean back if you feel comfortable. If it's too much, you can hold underneath the knee. Just if you can't straighten the leg very easily. Good, now from here, bend the knee again. Keep it high. Going right into eagle from here, Garudasana. So bring the leg over your left leg. Turn to your left a little bit. Point the toe. You might be able to get the foot to hook around the left leg. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Just keep it hanging like this. Okay, and then left arm over the right. Intertwine the forearms. Push the elbows forward in front of the shoulders. Sink down. Try not to lean forward. Look like an eagle, just contemplating where to fly next. Press into your left foot. Release, come back out. Now try it all on this, again on the other foot. Anchor down through the right foot, spread the toes. Bring the left foot up. Again, you can do the regular tree, or you can do your lotus. Your knee comes up towards your shoulder. Your foot again comes right at the top of the leg. Take a bind if you like, either holding the elbow with the right hand holding the foot, or the left hand holding the foot from behind. And then come back up with the hand at the heart, the knee pointing down. If you're doing a regular tree, both hands up. Okay, so stand tall and steady, keep growing taller and taller. And then break the pose. Take your left hand to the foot, hold the heel from the inside, and make your way up. Be magnificent and poised and graceful like a dancer. You become what you believe. All those qualities of every being are already within. You just have to turn them on. Purpose of asana is to experience everything. All forms, all experiences have something to teach you. Good. Now from here, release the foot. Bring the knee. Keep the knee up high as you're moving into the next one, Garudasana. So your leg crosses higher on the leg. It's easier to take the bind. Turn to your right. Point your toe. You might be able to get your foot to hook around the back of the right leg. If not, again, be unconcerned. The right arm over the left and sink down. Be like a shapeshifter, moving between the forms effortlessly. Press into right foot and release. Good. Now, next one. Move to the, going on your left hands and left foot first, Alachandrasana. Bring the left foot forward, lean down. The left hand comes about 14 or 16 inches in front of the left foot. Raise your right leg up. So if you need to bring your hand on a block, go ahead. If this is too much still, you can come down on your left knee and do it from your knee. Try to get your hip over the heel. Pull the right leg up higher. And now bend your knee, bend your left knee as well. Take the foot, if you can, while it's close to the seat, and then push it up and back. If you can't take the foot, don't worry about it. Again, just stay in a form that's suitable for your abilities. If you want to go further, look forward. Try to send your left hip over the heel. Hold your breath so you get your left hand to your heart. Some of you might be able to take the foot in your hand, your left foot in your hand as well. Push the foot up. Arch the back. Break the pose, pull heel in towards the seat. Left hand down and step back down. Come back up. Try it on the other side now. Move through the postures that have changed in temperament again. Right foot forward, right hand down. Give yourself a good distance, at least 14, 16 inches again. Raise the left leg up. No need to rush. Take it nice and slow. Balance postures are challenging. It requires patience, perseverance, concentration. If you like, again, bend your right knee a little bit, sink more weight into your right foot, and take the ankle while the foot's still close to your seat, and push it all the way up and back away from the body. Open up the front of the body, the left shoulder, left hip in line with the other one on top of the other. You can stay here or you can look forward. Try to have your right hip right over the heel. Hold the breath. You can see if you can take your right hand to your heart, or more advanced, take the foot. Push the foot away from the head, arch the back. And break the pose. Release the foot and come back up. So now, facing along edge of the mat. Bring your fingertips together at the height of the shoulder, in line with the elbows, height of the shoulders. Jump your feet apart. Go to your left. Turn to your left, sink nice and deep into the hips. Get low, steady and strong. And embrace all the qualities of a warrior. Lean forward a little bit to show a sense of purpose and determination. Always unhesitating to do the duty. Now from here, swing the right arm up to meet the left. Virabhadrasana 1. If you can't turn the hip, you can lift the back heel. If it's still too much, you can bring your back knee down as well. Lift up. Good. Now press into your front foot. Hard, you can come up. Hands behind the back. Push the hands against the inside of the right leg. Inhale, lift the chest. Allow the head to fall back. Again, this is an option. If it's too much, you keep your, it makes you dizzy, just keep your head upright. And from here, come back forward, bend your left knee, and move your body to the right. Roll the right thigh out. So your shoulder can come to inside of the knee and slide down. So you can take your head to the ground. If you need to, you can roll the right knee down as well. Just like this. Okay, so make it a little bit more, if it's too much to do it with your leg up, then just do as you need to make it accessible to you. Then from here, come up halfway. And then push your left hand into your thigh, come upright if you can. See if you can keep your back knee up off the ground, right arm up. Into Paduvita Parsvakonasana. twist to your left. Try to sit your arm on the outside of the leg. Your armpit is resting on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into your right. Now push. See how my belly comes over the thigh. And then keep turning. Try to get the center of the chest up towards the thumbs. Take the left shoulder all the way back. Now if you want to take a bind here, you can. You have lots of space underneath your leg. Use your left hand to guide the right arm underneath. Take your left arm over your back and pull the hand out from underneath. Join your hands below your belly. If it's too much, you lower your right knee to the ground. Take the left shoulder all the way back. Turn your face and chest up. Keep the back leg strong. Keep extending through the crown. Now break the pose. Bring your hands back down on the inside of the foot. And from here, you can rock back and forth a few times. Try to get your hips to lower down with each pass. And then push back to the right heel one more time. Lower the knee, flatten out the toes. You want to keep your knee close to the shoulder. If your hips are close to the ground, fall to the right. See if you can anchor down to the right hip and the right forearm. Roll back to your left. And keep on trying to creep your body forward. The more you lengthen, the more the body comes down. So make sure that this is not happening. The knee's falling away from the shoulder. Move your foot out so that your knee stays over the heels. Likewise, you don't want this to happen. Okay, so you have your knee and your heel in the same line. If you're very flexible, you're flat on the ground already. And take your left arm over your foot from the outside underneath your knee. Your right arm goes over your back and you join your hands over your back. Again, depending on your abilities, just visualize yourself in the form, even if you can't attain it right now. Keep imagining, keep tapping into the teacher, the form, and at some point the body will realize it. Now break the pose, coming back out. From here, bring the knee back up. Let me do this way. Kapiyasana again. Push your seat all the way forward. Raise your arms up. Arch back. This is a beautiful expression of offering. If you want to go a little bit further, you can try to take your foot to your head. If your hips are low to the ground right against the heel, your fingers might touch the ground more easily. And you can even bring your right hand to your foot. Press the thumb into the back of the knee. Cup your hands around the outside of the knee, and then you can guide your foot more easily to the head. Eventually, when your head is resting securely on the foot, you eventually take your arms up or just hold the foot. Keep your seat all the way forward, remember, so you don't lose your balance. Now break the pose, bring the hands back down. From here, press into your hands. Lift the back knee up off the ground. Turn towards long edge of the mat. Come all the way up. Go to the other side. Turn to the right. Drop down to the seat. Try to get your stance very low. Your knees over their toes. If you can. Good. Nice. Steady lines. Make sure this is not happening. Your back arm drops down. Keep your arms level with the shoulders. And then come forward and up. Virabhadasana 1. Another expression of abject surrender to divine service. Now push in the front foot, straighten out the front leg, take your hands behind the back, and push them against the inside of the left leg, right at the top of the leg. Lift the chest. If you feel comfortable, you can allow the head to drop back. Keep your lower back lifted, no bends in the back of the lower back. And coming back up. You can always use your hands on the seat as well. Okay, and then bend the right knee, come forward again. Keep your hip, try to keep on the same line as the knee or below, so that you can come down lower. You have to go to the left a little bit, roll the left thigh out. So again, the left shoulder, the right shoulder just slips the inside of the leg and slides down the inside of the leg. Again, if you need to, you lower the left knee down to the ground. expression of humility. And from here, hold your breath, come back up, push into your right knee, and turn the left heel up, left arm up. I'll do this way so you can see. And then angle your foot and your knee to the left. Try and sit your armpit on the outside of the knee. The right hand pushes into your left, so don't stay here trapped behind your leg. You have to push firmly down the right hand to your left. Even a fist helps. The belly comes over the thigh, and then you keep on trying to get this in the chest to come behind your thumbs and stay behind the thumbs. Roll the right shoulder all the way back. If you want to take the bind, again, you can use your right hand to guide your right arm left arm underneath. Right arm goes over the back. Join your hands together. You can hold the right wrist with your left hand if you like. And turn your face and chest up. Eventually looks like you're lying on your back. Your shoulders almost at the same height from the ground. But at least try to get your right shoulder over the left. If you need, take the knee down, the left knee. Break the pose. Bring hands the inside of the foot. Traverse back and forth if you like, pushing off the roots of your toes. And then send the knee down, flatten out your toes. If your hips are low, you can rock to your left. Get the left hip and the forearms come down. Roll back to the right. Imagine your hips are made of lead. When the hips are heavy, the rest of the body will follow more easily. The pelvis followed by the belly, then the chest. Keep your knee close to the shoulder. Try to get your body lower than the knee. And if you want to take the bind, if you're flat on the ground, go ahead, your right shoulder on the right knee. Your arm goes over the foot. From the outside, it passes underneath the knee. And then you join your hands over your back. Fix your gaze steadily. Just like a lizard that stares without blinking. Now break the pose. Come back on the hands. Kapiyasana again. Okay, so bring your seat all the way forward towards the front heel. Raise your arms up. If this is too much, you can also just bring your hands to the knee and lean back away from the leg. Again, do according to your abilities. Reach back. Try to make that shape of a crescent moon. And if you want to try advanced variations, you can. You can try to get your seat nice and low. Take your left hand to your knee. Guide the foot to the head. And once you have it, keep your seat very heavy. Maybe at some point you release your hands up. Save the pose, I'm yours. Grant me higher devotion. Take me. Pose. Now from here, bend the toes under, lift the back knee, and come back in between your legs, your body in between your legs. From here, Prasamita Padottanasana. So take your hands, the ankles, maybe you can even step on your fingers with the edges of your feet. Pull the head forward and then come right between your legs. Try to get your head down between your feet. If you're more flexible, try to move your head a little bit more in. The chest eventually behind your legs. Lift the shoulders, make sure you're not losing your neck again. Pull the shoulders up and away from the ground so the neck stays long. Now you can stay here or you can do an inversion of your choice. Headstand, for instance. You can place your hands in behind. So the arms are at 90-degree angles, your fingers are in line with your heels. You can see you can press your way up. If you know how to straddle up in it, you can go ahead. If it's too much to straddle, you can move your feet behind the wrists and you would stay in teddy bear. So just land just underneath your knees against your elbows, press into your hands and see if you can flick your
toes, bend your toes back away from the ground. And you're in an inversion. Eventually take your feet up. If you want to make your way all the way up, go ahead. And come down gracefully. This is just to practice control between your poses. We'll get into headstand again later. And then land your feet down beside your head. Arms up to the side and come all the way up. Now from here, easy Chakrasana. Move your feet in a little bit, but the toes will still be on the edge of the mat. Hands to your seat, push into your seat, bend your knees like you're riding a horse. Your knees come over your toes. Push into seat, pull down, allow the head to drop back. If you want, you can slide one hand at a time down the backs of your legs. Maybe stopping just below the knees, press the heels, your palms into the backs and knees, roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. If you're more flexible, keep going all the way down. Maybe your hands come underneath your heels eventually. Push your hips all the way forward and up. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. And then when you're ready to come back up, press one hand at a time up, and then walk your way up. Eventually find your way into your seat and press into your seat, pull down. As you come up higher, tuck your chin into your chest, and come all the way back up. Good. Now from here, arms up to this side, jump your feet together, Tadasana. Stand tall and steady like a mountain. Come into the mountain consciousness, unshakable, unmovable, and be as such in regards to the practice, in the adherence to the practice. So let's move to the back of the mat. Coming into plank pose. If you want, you can fall into it. Make sure you don't have, your wrists can handle it though. So hold the breath, bring your arms down in front. Fall into plank. Otherwise, come down onto your knees or make your way into plank, however you like. Vasisthasana first. Move your left hand towards the right in front of the nose and arms in one line. Good. Form a big sort of triangle shape here. Make sure you don't fall into your shoulder. Make sure your hips aren't sagging down. If you do that, if you start to feel like you're doing that, just bring your left knee down. And then come back to the plank. Go to the other side. Move the right hand more in front of the nose to your left. You can keep your ankles crossed. Straight line again. Hips away from the ground, not sagging down. So the lower body shouldn't be sagging. Straight from shoulder all the way to the heel. And come back to plank. From here, lower the knees down. Drop down onto your seat. Drop down on your seat on your heels. You can either sit on your feet and move back, just trying to soften the knees here. Move your hands back further and further. If you can, you can want your elbows. If you can, however, Supta Virasana. You sit between the feet, and then you can again make your way down. Depending on your abilities, your flexibility, you might be able to get down onto your forms, or you might be able to come right on your back. If you're on your back, take hold of your opposite elbows over your head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, feel the whole back body sinking into the ground. Good. Now, bring your hands back onto your feet. Push against the heels if you're flat on the ground. Lift your shoulders up on mat and then chin into the chest. And make your way up. Push into one side of the one elbow and then push your way up and come back up. So from here, one more round of Vasisthasana. If you can this time, you can take the variations. Or you can do the same thing as you did. So come into plank to prepare, and then go to your right again, on your left hand and left foot. Move into Vasisthasana, either the regular version or keep going. Slide the right toes back, and then turn on your left foot. Your left foot has toes in the same line as the rest of the leg. No more than 45 degrees. Try to keep the inside edge of the foot down. Push your hip all the way up like you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana. Now you can even spin on your left hand and then make your way into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Or your hips high. Push your hips forward. Your left shoulder is a little bit behind the hand. So you can take the right knee up. Hold the knee, or maybe hold the foot. And then break the pose, bring the right foot back down, and return to plank pose. Go on the other side now. The right hand moves towards the left. Make your way into side plank. You can stay there or continue. Slide the left toes back. Again, you can move into Urdhva Dhanurasana. You can speed on the heel of the palm and the foot until the feet and hands land one beside the other. Or the other version. Make sure you shorten your stance a little bit so you can get the inside edge of the foot down. Your foot not is following the same line. The toes is the leg, not at 9 degrees to the leg. You can bring the left knee up, hold the knee, or hold the foot. Sometimes it takes a few weeks, maybe a few months to get this. Just keep trying. Angry determination to fuel you in practice. Break the pose. The same as you entered. Don't fall through the hip or the shoulder. Return to downward facing dog. From here, lower the knees down. Bring the seats back on your heels. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Now make your way up. Next is King of the Postures, headstand. So if you know what you're doing, go ahead into it. You don't have to wait. If you need a little bit more guidance, you can do a few things. If you're really not comfortable coming up very far, you can just keep your forehead on the ground from the knees and lift your seat up. Try to get your hips in line with your heels, in line with your knees. If you find you feel a lot of pressure and it's you can't withstand the pressure on the back of the neck for long, you just take your head forward a little bit so you're more on the top of the head. Imagine trying to push the belly button right through the lower back and the heart between your shoulder blades. And if you want to go further, if you can bring your hands on the ground beside your knees and lift your seat up. Again, this is what we did before in Prasarita Padottanasana. You bring your knees to the elbows and so you can bring your feet up off the ground. You don't have very far to fall here, so if you feel uncomfortable and steady, just bring your feet down. Okay, so just move in a way that is controlled. No jumps into the poses that might end up not landing on your back. From here, hold your breath so you can push into the ground with your hands so you can get your knees up off your arms. And the easiest way to keep the balance is to bring your left foot back behind. Keep your leg bent. The heels are close to the feet are close to the body. This helps you to keep, if your legs are very extended, you have more weight to just try to withstand, to hold, and then sometimes it goes, if you're not moving with control, you can fall on your back. So be mindful in your practice. You can also do this against the wall or on a chair. Place your foot on a chair. So those of you who are in headstand still, you can play variations. You come and notice, you can try to move your legs around or your arms in different positions without losing your concentration. Keep your attention on the space between your eyebrows. If you're doing it in a chair, those who need, take hold of the opposite elbows again from the knees, and the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Don't move your elbows, move your hands forward, and place your head on your palms. And then bring one foot on a wall, either at the height of the hip or on the seat of a chair. And then your right other leg goes back behind you again. Keep the foot close to the seat, dangling towards the ground like a heavy fruit hanging off of a branch. And eventually you can maybe toke your toes up off the wall by bending your toes back or off the chair. And then return, come down gracefully into child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Now bring your arms forward, like we did in the sun salutations. Slide all the way forward and up into your cobra. Downward facing dog. Now from here, jump to your hands. Land your feet where your hands are. Lift your knees, lift your heels. Look between your hands. Spring forward or walk forward if it's not your liking. Arms at the height of the shoulders, and then see if you can lift your heels up off the ground. Really push your heels up, press into your toes, flex your feet. Good. Legs start to shake. Enjoy it. Be strong. Be determined. Slowly lower down. Make like you're sliding your back down the wall. Once your seat comes onto your heels, tuck your chin in. Flow all the way back. As your feet are going over your head, bring your hands to your back. Coming to easy plow. Coming on again in your practice, you can stay here. And then if you feel comfortable, you can make your way into shoulder stand, preparing by bringing your hands behind your back, join your hands together, heels, your palms come together, and move your arms back, all the way back behind your body if you can, your elbows close together. And then bring your hands onto your back. Those you want to go to shoulder stand, raise one leg up first, keep your hips forward, and then the other one joins. If it's too much, if your arms are behind your body, beside your body, and you need to keep your legs more at an angle, that's okay too. Wherever you're at is perfect if you're coming with an intention of expending your an honest effort and offering up the poses. Now if you want, you can do a lotus if you have a lotus. Also, if you have a lotus, try to get your hips, your knees higher than the hips so it doesn't look like a plow. Push hips all the way forward. You can use your hand to push into your thighs. Fix your attention on the seat of divine perception. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deeper within. Beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond the emotions. Now from here, start changing your mindset. If you have lotus, you can go into Pindasana. You can even take your full bind if you have it. Wrap your arms around the outsides of the legs. Join your hands underneath your seat. Your knees on either side of the head. If you don't have a lotus, come back into plow, and you can also bring your thighs against your body. Your knees by either side of the head, by each side of the head. And in doing this, you try to shut out all the sensory inputs that are coming in through the eyes and the ears. Shut them off so that you remain undisturbed. Option to take your arms, rest them over your backs, your legs, or slip in between. If you're in Karnapidasana, slip your hands underneath your head. So your hands, your wrists go over your backs and knees. You cup your hands around the ears. looks like stork pose, but in another orientation. Lift your seat up, so it's over your over your shoulders. And now from here, a little bit of a trick, perhaps, if you like to try to hold your big toes, your 2-piece fingers, or the ankles. Hold your breath and see them come into boat pose, so letting go of your hands and letting go of your feet. And try not to allow the feet to come down in between. Pull the legs up closer to the body. And see if you can float them there. If you need to bend your knees, you can do this version as well. Okay, and then breathe very fast in the nose, like a sniffing dog. Bring your feet down from here. Slide them forward depending on the condition of your hamstrings. You can just hug your body to your legs, holding opposite elbows. And then just keep inching your chest further forward. Imagine trying to hook the bottom of the rib basket over your knees. And if you're flexible, again, don't waste your time. Go right into the pose, Paschimottanasana. Try to bring your hands to the feet and pull your body forward. Keep the attention to the base of the spine. Imagine the spine going ever longer. Shoulders away from the ears. Glide your chest forward with each inhale. Sink more weight into the legs with each exhale. Come back up. Hands behind your back. Slide your feet in. Bench pose. Your feet and your hands about 10 inches apart. If you can't, throw your hips up if you have no wrist issues. If you do, keep your seat down and just allow your head to hang back. And breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. Lower the seat down. Good. Take your legs in close to your body. Hug yourself a big hug. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Everything stops. All the attention to the space to the eyebrows. Contract the root muscles. Pull them up towards the navel and the chin on the chest. Exhale slowly. Don't allow the breath to be like a big explosion out of the body. Good. Now cross your ankles. Make your way onto your belly. Cobra. So starting with the forehead down, your hands underneath your shoulders. Roll the shoulders back to start. Anchor down through the lower body from the hips all the way down to the feet. Start to lift up. Push your chest forward. Get your head back. Try imagine you're trying to get the back of the head to touch the seat. And continue to go further and further, according again to your comfort level, your flexibility. Try not to lose your neck. Make sure you're not jamming up your shoulders against your ears. Keep telescoping neck as shoulders. Keep bringing your heart forward away from the seat. As you get more flexible, more loose in the pose, you can bring your hands closer. You can even come onto your fingertips. And this gives you even more height. If you need to modify, but keep your forearms on the ground, stay in Sphinx. Now if you want, you can open up your feet a little bit. Bend your legs, try to get your feet to your head. You have to push into your fingertips again. Your hands have to be close to your body. Your hips down. So if your hips are up, you won't be able to get your feet up very high. So make sure your hips are down. Imagine you squeezing socks behind your knees. Lose yourself in the pose. Merge as a form. And then lower down. Gracefully. Come down. Forehead on hands.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Any bow, Dhanurasana, or Cobra again. You can bring right arm across the chest, take your left foot up, and then pull on the foot, get it up, and then keep that hold there. Bring bend the other knee, take your other foot. A little bit easier entry into the pose. And then push the shoulders back. You can rock back and forth if you like. You might be able to rock all the way back onto your knees. And with determination, push up through the heels. Push up to the base of the toes. Look up, you might be able to see your toes eventually if you really pull on your feet and get them up high. Pull the heels in towards the seat, bring the pose. Forehead on hands, breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Hands on the shoulders, push your way up into table. Land your seat on your heels. And then push your way up into and stand on your knees. So this is the same pose, except in another orientation. Look for the commonality between the forms, not the differences which cause separation. So hands start on the seat, and you can stay the whole time. Push into seat, pull down. Lift the chest, allow the head to go back. If this is where your edge is, you stay there. If you can go back a little bit further with your shoulders going behind your feet. Right hand to the right heel, left hand to your left heel. And your thumb on the inside of the ankle, of the foot, and the index fingers on the outside. Bring your heels all completely together. Lock your baby fingers together. Cross them. And then see if you can lean your weight forward. So your hips are very heavy. Imagine that any moment you're going to fall on your thighs. Keep expanding the whole front of the body. Good. Now from here, if you're in rabbit pose, bring your shoulders back behind the feet, one hand at a time, back on the seat. Push into your seat. Push yourself up. From here, come with your hands underneath your shoulders and table. And cat pose. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to neutral back. And then come back up. So you can do the same pose, or if you're more flexible, you can go into camel pose, almost the same, except your feet are flat on the ground, or even Kapotasana, pigeon. So again, start again by leaning back, bring the right hand to the right foot, left hand, left foot, and then push your hips forward. Your hips coming in line with your knees. If you want to do Kapotasana, take one elbow, keep your arms strong, extended, or bent. Keep your arms strong and see if you can get your hand to the ground. So you have to really activate the thighs. Press into your shins and come back. Once your hand down, take your other hand down. You can take hold the opposite, the edge of the mat here. Pull on the mat. And so you can get your head down to the ground. And then perhaps you can bring your hand beside your head. Walk your fingers towards the feet. So you can get your toes and try to get your elbows on the ground, Kapotasana. More flexible, you eventually move your head in a little bit closer to the side or in between your feet. Be mindful of the shoulder condition, of course. Get ready to break the pose. You need to come back up here with the strength. Push into your hands if you're in Kapotasana. Hold your breath. Really press down to the shins. Those you can come up. Otherwise, come back onto your back. Good. Now from here, child's pose.
Forehead to the ground, arms by side of the body, breathe in, breathe out. Coming back up.
So one more arm balance. So, yes, arm balance or back bend as well. Moving towards scorpion or Pinchamayurasana. Make sure your elbows are not going out to the side. Pull them in so they're just inside the shoulders and your fingers are spread. So you can do this against the wall again. I'll pretend I've got a wall, or you can bring, again, your feet to the base of the chair. Again, measure off the elbows so those are underneath the shoulders, and place your hands, and don't move your elbows. Place your hands down, lift your seat, bring one foot on the seat of the chair, and your other foot back. Keep your legs, again, bent. If your foot's on the wall, you can do that as well. And then bend your toes back away from the wall. So, look a little bit in front of your fingers. Keep your legs bent. If your legs are straight, it's a little bit more difficult to find a balance. Okay, but try with your legs bent first. If you don't need a chair, then don't use a chair. But make sure you're not jumping too much, too fast, or too hard. You'll land on your back. Excuse me. All right. Come down. Give it a few more tries. And if you're not comfortable with coming up, you can just maybe lift one leg. Or you can do it with your head on the ground. Again, if you're not comfortable with your head off the ground. The closer your foot is to your elbows, the less you have to jump. You have to press off you just have to press off your foot, engage your core, eventually come up. Advanced practitioners, if you know how to get into, take both legs back or up or towards scorpion, you can. I like to push on one knee and guide the foot towards the head by pushing into your knee. Remember, for professionals, as Dharma Yoga likes to say, that you get both feet to the head. Good. Break the pose with control and down. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then roll your way up. So now from here, final pose. The twist, well, not final pose, but before we go to Shavasana. So you can pull the left leg under, and then bring the right foot on the outside, the left knee. Make sure you're not sitting on your foot. The heel is beside your hip. You can sit on a block if you can't get both sides of the seat down, or you can extend your left leg and just move the right foot out a little bit further beyond the knee. The left hand up, the right arm behind the back. Take your forearms to the outside of the thigh. Inhale, lift through the chest. Push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. If you have your leg bent, looks like this. And you can reach down for your heel, pull on the heel. So inhale, pull on the heel, lift up the body a little bit more up out of the hips. And then turn to the right. Push the elbow against the knee against the elbow. Imagine trying to move your knee beyond the left edge of the body. Keep the neck long. Feel the twist starting at the base, the hips moving all the way up. Visualize a twist, the spine, I'll call twisting, turning around itself. See if that helps you to go deeper into the twist. Then break the pose, change legs around, and then the left hand behind the back, right arm up. go to the other side. Again, you can extend the right leg if that's more doable for you. Keep both sides of the seat anchored down. Reach down for the heel if it's beside your left hip. Lift through the chest, turn to your left. It's not just the eyes that turn, remember, it's a whole torso. Break the pose. Make your way onto your back now. Lie down on your back. Do it softly. No big heavy thuds on the ground. No jerky movements. Always fluid movements like you're moving in a dream. Settle into a state that allows you to let go of all effort, all tension. Take a deep breath in. Just do a scan of all the areas of the body where you feel tight, restricted, holding tension. Exhale, just allow it all to just fall right out of the body. Relax all the muscles, feel as though they were dissolved. No strength left in them. Feel as though the muscles and the skin were just hanging off the bones. Make yourself completely receptive to receiving all the benefits of the practice. They come in even greater force when you yourself have put out the effort to serve others. You attract good circumstances, good karma to yourself through good deeds, benevolent, compassionate deeds, and words and thoughts. Imagine that all that you're bringing in now, all the benefits, making yourself receptive to all the benefits coming in, and imagine them coming in like great waves. Direct all of that incoming into the spiritual heart again, located in the center of the chest and right side of the physical heart. Send it all as an offering to God, and as God is present in all forms. What you send to God is being sent out to all beings everywhere. Make an intention of staying in a mindset of benevolence and compassion. Repeat yourself the following sentence 3 times mentally to ingrain in your heart and mind, and keep it there. Keep coming back to it every day to see its realization bit by bit. My compassion is ever expanding and reaching all beings. Repeat that 3 times yourself mentally. Now get ready to extend that in your day-to-day life. It's easy enough to do on a mat when you're in that mindset of giving, when you're focused, but when you're in a real world, faced with real situations, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult, but just keep doing your best. And keep just always the idea that God is in all beings, and then becomes a little bit more difficult to fathom wanting to bring harm to that being. So now come back to seated position in a way that is gentle, that is mindful, that is silent and reverent. practice with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within, send out to all beings. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day. Much love to you. Next week, I believe we're back on Saturday at 8:30. Hope to see you then.